Hello students, how are you all? Today we are going to learn computer fundamentals. Welcome you all to Bhaskar tutorial. So let's see about this chapter. At first we are going to see how a computer system works. Okay. So you all know that computer system work whenever we give power or whenever do some input to the computer, it gives us the output. Okay. But basically that is also true. Basically there are three important things, okay, for the working of a computer, and they are known as input, processing and output. So let's see what is input. Input means, okay, whatever data or instruction we put with the keyboard or mouse or light pen, joystick and many more input devices are there. The data whatever we put through these devices is known as input, and these keyboard are the examples of input device. So basically there are many input devices. Later on we will see with the help of picture and you will be clear. Okay, so next is processing. So you see there is a process. Okay, basically computer has a process. Whenever we give the input with these devices, then it is received by CPU. Okay, so CPU is doing the processing. Again in CPU there are various parts inside the CPU. Okay, so later on we will see that also. So there are various parts in the CPU, and that is doing the processing. That means it is working inside the, since computer does not understand the human language, okay, whatever we put. So computer understand only the machine language, that is 0 and 1, or binary code also, binary digit also you can say it. So whatever we put like A, B, C, D, whatever you type, it is transferred to the binary language. At first it will receive, then the binary language will transfer it to the what, human language. Whatever we give, if we will type A, then there will be processing inside the CPU, the 0 and 1, and it will give us the result A in our screen. And the output, I already told you, output means the result, whatever we instruct the computer to do, okay, or whatever data we put in the computer, it is the processing will be done and the output, okay, will be shown in our monitor. And there are names of various output devices like printer, monitor, plotter, speaker, etc. These are some of the example of output device. You see this is the output device. Okay, you will be very clear. The speaker, monitor, what we get through the speaker, we get some response. With the, in the monitor we get some visuals. Headphone, the same thing. The plotter is the printer. Okay, so projector or the printer, there are various different type of printer, just keep in mind. So these are the output devices. Next let's see input devices. There's a very beautiful picture of input devices, like your mouse is an input device. The speaker, sorry, the microphone, this is the microphone. Okay, this is the input device. The CCTV camera is a input device, and there are many more input devices. You can have a look. Okay, just I want to know a very small thing by you. Okay, what is this? This is a CCTV camera which is installed in the school or the big restaurant or shop or many more places. So in the comment section you give the full form of CCTV. Okay, what is the full form of CCTV? You just mention it in the comment section. Yes. Next, let's see the parts of CPU. So I already told you the CPU has various parts like arithmetic and logical unit, control unit, and memory unit. So you see, it is in short we are writing ALU or CU for control unit, MU for memory unit. So this CPU has three more parts. Okay, keep in mind control unit, memory unit, and arithmetical logical unit. These are the three important parts. Now these three parts have all different functions and works. Okay, so control unit, it controls all the devices of the computer system. Arithmetic and logical unit, it do only the mathematical works. And the memory unit, whatever memory related things is done by memory unit. So we will study very nicely. So this picture you keep in mind the three parts of CPU. Now you see, in the previous I told you this memory unit. Okay, let's see now the memory unit. So this memory unit is basically divided into two parts, that are primary memory and the secondary memory. So primary memory is the main memory of the computer system. Okay, so without this primary memory, it is main. Since it is main memory, then if you will not keep the primary memory, if there is no any primary memory in the computer, it won't work or it won't be switched on. So the example are RAM and ROM, random access memory, and read-only memory. So later on we will discuss about these two also. So next this is secondary memory. So it is secondary. Okay, it is not so 100% useful, but in all the computer and laptop or desktop, you keep in mind, or in even though in your mobile phone, there are both primary and secondary memory. But just remember, without the secondary memory also we can switch on our computer and we can do work. Okay, so computer can be worked computer can be worked, or we can work in a computer in the absence of secondary memory, but we cannot work in the computer, or computer will not respond to you in the absence of primary memory. Just keep in mind these things. So what is the purpose of secondary memory? It is used to what? To store the data. So whatever data you download or you save, it is saved in the secondary memory, not in the primary memory. Okay, so example of secondary memory are hard disk, pen drive, CD, and floppy disk, and many more, DVD also, and many more are the examples of secondary memory. So let's see here very clearly. Okay, the memory system. You see here primary memory, or it is known as main memory, or internal memory also it is known as, and secondary memory is, and also volatile memory. Okay, so secondary memory you see external or non-volatile or non-backy memory. Okay, or permanent or auxiliary memory. These are the different names of the primary and secondary memory, but basically we see primary memory and secondary memory, or volatile or non-volatile memory. So let's see this primary memory. Okay, now primary, since I already told you in the previous slide, this primary memory is divided into two parts. So primary memory is RAM and ROM. So I will tell you the full form of RAM and ROM. So various names are there. Primary memory, you can have a look. Now this primary memory, okay, is also, that means RAM is also divided into various parts, and ROM is also divided into various parts, different types. Okay, this RAM, you see RAM is divided into two parts, that is static random access memory and dynamic random access memory. These are the two different parts of RAM. Okay, or we can say in short SRAM or DRAM. This is the two different parts of RAM. Yeah, I know that you were not knowing these two parts of RAM. So students only know that this primary memory, secondary memory, and RAM and ROM. So very few students are knowing about this, okay, the parts of RAM and ROM. So I will tell you about the RAM. Now let's see ROM, read only memory. So this ROM is divided into three parts, okay, programmable read only memory, electrical erasable programmable read only memory, and erasable programmable read only memory. So you see the sort in the sort also I gave you what it is called. So now you see the RAM and ROM, okay, simple. Sorry, this, have a look. Okay, primary memory and secondary memory, it is very clear, important to understand. Now whenever you work in a computer system, your laptop or desktop, whatever you can call, so whenever you work in your system, this particular work is done. Like right now I am making a video for you all, and now in this session also I'm using a memory, okay, memory is being used in this video also, and that is a temporary memory, not the permanent, okay. So that particular work whenever we are doing, it is used by the primary memory. Just keep in mind that is in the primary memory. So whenever, example, whenever you work in Microsoft Word or any presentation or Excel, whatever so can call, so whenever you work the in your system, then what happens, then a primary memory is used that time, okay, not the secondary memory. But when you do the work, after completing the work you save it, then the secondary memory is being used that time, okay. Just keep in mind these things. So primary memory is just like a table in which we can, in which we keep our what, books for a time being till we study. So after studying we keep our books in a way. Yes, you are right, we keep in a case, okay. So like you are keeping your books in your bag, then after that where you are keeping, yes, in your table, in the school table, desk and bench. So the permanent place is where your bag, right? So that is known as the secondary memory. So example, just keep in mind this is just an example for you to understand. And primary memory is just like a desk and bench wherever you are keeping your what, books for a time being, okay. I hope you understand very nicely. So you see there is a very beautiful picture of RAM and ROM. It's not similar, okay, just keep in mind it is not similar. So you see the RAM, these are the ROMs, read only memory. So we cannot change whatever is installed, like we are installing our software or in your mobile device, like application that is installed in the ROM, not in the RAM, okay. Like you have seen that I have a 64 GB memory, internal memory, whatever it's called now. So RAM 2 GB, 3 GB, or 4 GB, 8 GB. So the RAM. So in your mobile you have a 64 GB internal storage and a RAM of 3 GB or 2 GB or 4 GB, whatever. So the RAM picture, you see the picture of RAM in of our computer system in this. So this particular slots, okay, we have to put in the slot these things and it will stand, okay. So this is a inbuilt, so we cannot change the ROM, keep in mind, but we can change the RAM. Did you understand?
If you like the
Okay.
video, kindly don't forget to share and subscribe. Thank you.